Coach, can you talk a little bit about at this particular point of the season, what's the most important thing for your team as you get set and ready for postseason play?
Make it to the playoffs first. That's the most important thing. Second thing, just we have 7 games to clean up. We got to get better at, offensively and defensively, and then the most important thing is health. Making sure we're healthy going down the stretch, but making sure we're playing good basketball as well.
Last year, James had, I think, 4 games with 3 or fewer field goals. He's got 19.
Say it again?
James Harden has had 4 games with 3 or fewer field goals last year. He's got 19 of those this year with you guys. It seems like his offense is really just up and down. Just curious, like, in a time when you really need that with Kawhi out, like, how do you bring that out of him? Outside of, he gets blitzed and he kind of just, watches the ball, doesn't really get back into play. How do you bring that out of him?
I just got to do a better job just finding ways to open him up. Might have let him play more one-on-one basketball, which he's great at. The numbers say that, So when he's getting blitz, I like having 4-on-3 on the backside because you're at an advantage. But we also got to make sure that he's getting his ISOs, he's getting his one-on-one play to be able to get his shots as well. And so just a fine line between both. But we got to get him going, and it's up to me to get that done.
When he gets blitzed like that and you kind of slip the ball, do you want him to get re-involved in that set, or is he kind of just like, all right,
Yeah, but if it comes back to him, but usually if you get the short roll, it's usually 4-3 on the backside. You usually gonna get an open shot, at some point. But we just can't let him be the one that's making the passes all night long. So we gotta make sure put him in spots where we can play one-on-one, have a chance to play some ISO basketball and create from there as well.
Ty, just curious for you, how has it been riding the highs and lows of the season?
It's been great. The highs have been a lot better, of course, but it's part of it, So when you go through tough times, you got to get tougher. This team has done that. They've shown that. Going on the road and winning, 3 tough games. I thought defensively we were really good. So just got to continue to keep building. It's a long season, and these last 7 games, tough stretch for us, but we got to be up for the challenge, which we are.
So I know that with Kawhi, it's listed as soreness. Is this a situation where you guys had an MRI done, or was that not something that was necessary for this situation?
I mean, we're not gonna get into the details of it, but he has knee soreness and he's gonna miss a couple of games, and so we gotta be ready, to step up and play without him until he's ready. And so he's going through his rehab process and trying to get better.
So I'm assuming with what you just said, if this were a playoff game, he would not be playing. And how concerned are you about the fact that you guys have dropped 5 straight at home?
I'm not concerned. Our fans have been great. Been a great atmosphere. We just got to play a little better. That's all. No concern.
What about the first part? If this were a playoff game?
I didn't answer it.
Coach, you've spoken a lot about mindset throughout the season. What would you say the mindset is going into this matchup against the Denver Nuggets?
Anytime you get a chance to play against the champs, you got to be up for that. And Joker, who's a tough cover, great player. Love watching him play. And so Denver's a team that we've had problems with in the past. So I'm definitely excited, for the matchup. Definitely excited, to see where we're at, and kind of go from there.
Ty, I just want to make sure you said when Kawhi's going to miss a couple games, is tomorrow night one of those games?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay, so you're just doing these 2 games?
Yes.
Okay.
And Ty, how have you seen Zoo kind of embrace the challenge when he goes up against some of the top rates in the league?
Yeah, Zoo's been good. I think physicality, I think being able to absorb that first hit from Joker, from Sabonis and guys like that, which he's done a decent job. And so those are tough covers every single night. But I think, with his size, with his strength, his physicality, he's able to absorb a lot of that first bump and bang and kind of take away the shots, when they're in the paint. And so he's done a good job, but it's a tough cover. So we just can't leave him on the island by itself and expect him to guard these players one-on-one. So we got to have really good digs, good strings, and try to make them play in the crowd.
When Kawhi is out, is there any sense for you that Paul is trying to do a little bit more? Should he do a little bit more, or just do his job?
Just do his job. We're going to feature him. Feature him more, feature James more, and he's been great. These last 3 weeks, 2.5, 3 weeks. Just taking what the defense gives him. I think he's been doing a good job in the pick and roll, just being aggressive out of the pick and roll. Great with his catch and shoot. And so, with Kawhi being out, we're going to need more from a lot of guys, not just PG. It's going to be collectively.
2 more.
And Coach, with Kawhi being out, a lot of people are going to focus on his scoring, but obviously it impacts the game on both ends. And you said after the Sacramento loss that you guys have struggled rebounding, and he is one of your better rebounders, especially when you guys go small. How do you guys make up for him being out, especially on the defensive end and when it comes to rebounding, especially when you guys do go small?
Yeah, I think, like you said, collectively, I think we got to do a great job in our strengths. We got to do a great job of getting back out to the three-point shooters, running them off. Low man has to present himself, and then we ready to X out on the backside. And so just multiple efforts, but I think it starts with the shield defense of just being in the right spots, being in the right places, not letting guys see seams and gaps where they can get to the paint.
Is Norm starting in place of Kawhi again?
I can't remember.
So then I will ask, when you do start Norm, if you choose to start Norm, what are the pros and cons of that because of how good he has been as a scoring punch off the bench? Like, what does that take away from the bench, or what does that add to the lineup when he is there?
Yeah, it takes a lot off the bench, you know, a guy that can score at all three levels. But I think when you start him, just giving James and PG, you know, more spacing on the floor. You know, you have to guard him. He also, when they're getting tired, is another guy you can kind of run plays through and run things through. So, yeah, you know, it's catch-22, but it all depends on the game. It all depends on the matchups. And so, I like having Norm in the starting lineup when those guys are out because it gives you more of an offensive punch.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.